Gentlemen, we're live. Right off the bat, no start screen. We're jumping right in. And I'd like to start by saying I reviewed, as I usually do, the last session. I was tired last time. I wasn't as prepped as I should have been. I had a lot going on. I made so many errors. And first, I apologize for that because it did throw you guys for a loop a couple times. But secondly, I have the best party because you guys, we've been playing together so long that you guys just rolled with it every single time, and it still turned out great. And that was just like watching it. I was both upset at myself for having made as many errors as I made, but also it was kind of cool how well you guys handled it all. So I wanted to lead by saying, you guys are the best, and thanks for playing. And then we're going to jump right into, with Beach Bum music, because that's totally dark and dramatic blues, which is what I asked for, Epidemic. Thank you for the Beach Boys. I appreciate that. Anyway, where was that? Oh, yeah, we're starting Under the Sea. You guys are in this, submarine, having gotten away from a very tense situation at the end of last episode, and we are going to have a little bit of time pass, but not a whole lot before the start of the episode. Ghost, since you were, slightly tardy, would you like to lead us in our recap?
Sure. We were fleeing some Unity cultists, and we found a submarine belonging to... Is it Anja? Is that the name?
Anja is the name of the captain.
Bam. Brelix attempted to take command. It didn't go very well, but while he was in command, we found some stuff out. We worked to clear the vessel, and we looked in all the rooms. I found some engineer keys, and we tried to figure out what happened to the old crew, because the captain was in an auto dock, and there were other ones that were clearly dead. So Garrett and I were looking around. We found a bunch of stuff, including, I was going through some vents, and I found the chief security officer had like a showdown with some Unity troopers and killed them both, but then one of their heads was missing, so it went all spider mode, and it's kind of like a face hugger, so I went hunting with Garrett, tried to use him as a meat shield, and Brelix narrowed down where all the skittering was, and we went down and killed it, but the whole point was that we were trying to not make noise, because we were being hunted the entire time by like a flotilla of these Unity troops. And eventually we got control over the ship because Marcus figured some stuff out and just took to it naturally and started commanding things to happen, which went really, really well after Brelix gave up control. We love Brelix to death. He's our sergeant and everything, but he gives stupid commands sometimes, like putting the kitty in the vent. That's bad planning.
You're not biased. Anyway. You're not biased about that at all.
We're putting kitty in a tube and launching him Halo style orbital. That's bad planning. Anyway, I'm a fraidy cat.
So we don't give Brelix all the credit for that. Marcus told you to get in the tube.
That's true. We came up with a plan to make a decoy for our pursuers. We used one of these sphere drones that we found in the engineering place, or I think it was an engineering bay. It doesn't matter. We tried to put it in the conning tower and jettison it with remote flooding, and made a ton of fucking noise. Shot the drone out. There was a torpedo coming in. It hits the drone. We nearly got hit. Pipes are bursting. Things are fucking going crazy. I think his name's Carl. Carl, one of the NPCs, took a shot at the hydrofoil ship on the surface that was trying to shoot us, and he hit. Then we had a lot of leaks, and Brelix and Garrett went and saved us with some patch kits and a fucking great roll, if I remember correctly. I think Garrett rolled boxcars. So we got under control and moving, and we slipped the flotilla, and we skirted off and screwed into the wild blue yonder.
That is
I'm
a pretty
missed
good
a lot.
recap. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Ronan, what do you think? What did he miss anything?
I think he got most of it, except for the Wild Blue Yonder's Air Force, not Navy. But we won't hold it against him.
The deep blue.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry, the deep blue yonder, which is way more
The
wild
deep
than
blue
empty air. Okay? Air Force can suck it.
Yeah, we tried that one 2 sessions ago. It didn't work out for us.
That's true, too. Kitty doesn't like flying. Kitty doesn't like being under the water. I guess, Kitty's just not going to like anything but being at home, lounging around.
I think this kitty might need a shrink.
By the time we're done with him.
Yeah.
So, I think that's actually a pretty good recap. I'm going to go over a couple of notes. Obviously, I did a lot of work to bring the map up to the spec it was supposed to be at the beginning of last episode. In doing so, I have to retcon a couple of minor things. First off, I've added a whole bunch of stuff to the cargo bay. I've added some rooms that you didn't know about before. There is a bunch of cargo in the maintenance locker now that is specific for the ship. And there is one of the retcons. There is a high pressure airlock downstairs with deep diving suits in it. These suits were and are in the cargo bay, meaning that there are some extras in there. But that door was specifically not mentioned as being there last time. It does not affect the outcome. So, that's a thing. But I just added a couple rooms for flavor. I did make the hand-drawn pirate map. That is, I put a big copy of it right here because that's, as we mentioned amongst the party, that's just a placeholder because the cargo bay is a double-decker, so this is kind of wasted space on the map. So I give you this big one. Learning how to use this map will be part of the fun. There is a super subtle hint about something that I suspect Kizik will get. I don't know if he'll mention it, but I suspect Kizik will get. I'm not sure if the rest of you will immediately pick up on, because you might put it down to me generating this map the way that I did, but I can tell you that if you notice a certain incongruity on this map, it might be a clue to an actual thing. So you do have that actual map, and you have your digital navigation charts on your consoles, and we are going to pick up the action a few hours after you guys managed to slip away. During the chaos of the exploding torpedoes, there was so much sound in the water, you were able to slip away, and after running silent for a couple hours, you feel like you've gotten far enough away from the search parties. And Marcus, Hylar, Bralix, and Garrett, I remembered everyone's name without looking. You guys maybe find yourself in the galley taking a shift, like a break, because you guys are going to start going down to, shift work, because people got to sleep and eat, shit like that. I also moved the galley. It's another retcon. I put entertainment on one side and food on the other. And Marcus is about to explain how his character, or how he suddenly was able to so effectively take command, because I'm sure the rest of you are going to be dying to know how he suddenly was just like, yes, make it so.
So I'm quietly, trying to not draw attention to myself, because that was really freaky and cool, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed of everything that just happened. The guys come in are giving, no one's saying anything, but they're giving me that, what'd you do, buddy? I'm sorry. All the time that I spent alone, I wasn't actually sitting there thinking deep thoughts. I was drowning my sorrows in video games. Specifically, I found an old game about Navy stuff, and I really enjoyed the submarine portion of it and played it a little bit too much. So I kind of just did what the guys in the game were like would say whenever I got shot at, and so I mean it worked for us, right? Come on, don't tell the crew that it was totally because of a video game.
No, that's exactly what I figured. So that adds up.
I mean, video games are essentially just like training for real life, and that's just a lower resolution simulation. So that you did a great job. I think we're alive right now because of you.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not a little stressful that a video game just saved us, but we are alive.
You know, hey, life experience is life experience, whether it's digital or real, you know?
So, yeah, I'm not going to tell the crew or anything, but when we get back, can you maybe show me the game? 'Cause I'm interested. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Can definitely do that. And you can do Navy stuff without actually having to go underwater.
Yeah, that would be great. Like, I would much rather be topside.
No, you wouldn't be topside underwater right now.
Well, no. I meant like above water, topside, outside. Yeah. I'm in a tin can. I hate it.
It's bigger than the last tin can you got dropped out of space in.
That's true. It's 100% true. How long do you think we're gonna be in here?
I guess that depends on where we're going. Like, we've evaded the bad guys. We still have to go drop off Jill and her team. And when we do that, like, what do we do with the submarine?
Yeah, I have no want for this thing at all. But there was a map, right? We could maybe figure out where to go to drop. Where does Jill want to go?
We have the rendezvous point. We're supposed to drop her off. Like that's okay. That's the only thing that's set in stone right now.
So maybe when we're done eating here, we go get up to the bridge there and talk to them and figure out what we're doing. Because I think our probable, like, the only thing we have, like, specific is to go drop them off. So we can look at the map on our way and figure this out.
Garrett, you've been kind of quiet. Are you okay?
Yeah, just kind of looking at my, just my pinky finger here and just kind of bending it around. And yes, it's just weird that I don't feel anything. It's just odd. This is, it's just weird.
I mean, that's going to wear off eventually. You're going to have to take another couple pills.
They're not suppositories, are they?
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
He threw a couple in your mouth last session, which is the only reason that you are still not in pain. However, he's been giving you painkillers now, so you are loopy. Like, you're sitting here playing with a broken finger. That may be a lapse in judgment due to, you are on meds because he doesn't have any more pain blocker. So what he's doing is sedating you. And I don't know if you remembered, but I specifically wrote down when I was listening to the walkthrough, or listening to the last playthrough, that a couple of times Hylar said, "Hey, open your mouth," and you said, "Odd." He threw pills down your throat, which was hilarious.
A doctor.
That's how you give pills to cats. I think that's how that works.
That's exactly how I learned it.
I just toss them in there and plug the nose and close the mouth.
Say,
You guys are talking about all that, and Jill walks into the galley. She had a concussion in the last episode. I don't know if you guys remember, but she hit her head during the emergency dive, and she's kind of just now been, in the past couple hours, like, back on her feet. She walks in and she sees the whole group, and she's like, "Oh, am I interrupting anything? I just was going to get a sandwich."
No, come join us. Or you wanted a sandwich first. Get a sandwich and then come join us.
Yeah, sure. Let me go over here and get myself a big old turkey sandwich. And she walks back and she's like, I appreciate you guys riding to my rescue. I don't know if I got a chance during all the shooting and running and screaming to tell you how much I appreciated everything you did. I am a little at a loss for what exactly to do at this point, but I think it is fortunate we were able to stumble upon Anja's cargo sub. She had a mission to do for us. I wonder if we can find... She used to keep like information hidden in written format. Maybe we can figure out what she was doing. I'd like to get that accomplished. I have no idea how we're getting back to the rendezvous, since it's, hundreds of miles inland, nowhere near any water, and we're underneath the ocean. But maybe we can do some good here first. I don't know. I doubt you guys had a contingency plan for this. I do think we should probably establish a clear chain of command, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it first, as this may be an awkward conversation, but I am a resistance cell leader. And while you guys aren't part of my cell, I think I should be giving the strategic direction to you guys. But I'll also be the first to admit, I'm not a combat specialist, so I have no problem with you guys making the tactical decisions. But I've been talking to my crew, and after I hit my head, I understand there was some tension amongst the two groups, and I'd like to just, since we're all here to have a chat about it without everyone else here, I'd like to decide on that amongst ourselves right now.
So you want to finish the mission of the sub of Angie's sub. Angie's in the auto dock downstairs. Still her sub. We're just happen to use it to get you safe. My ultimate goal is to get you back to the rendezvous point. There's also a kind of pressing matter of there's a downed pilot that's marked on the map up there. As we were close to the surface, I got a last transmission of tactical data, and it'd be nice if we could save another rebel pilot that helped us, or helped really free you, and helped us get to this situation.
I have no problem with that. I'm all for helping anyone we can.
What is the medical status of the captain?
She,
Do I know?
oh, yeah, that's a metagame question. You have a vague notion that, so the auto dock basically says it'll complete its part of the procedure and be ready to release her 48 hours from when you checked before. That was probably 5 or 6 hours ago, so you got almost 2 days. 2 days before she's going to come out of the auto dock. And just because she comes out of the auto dock doesn't mean she's better. It just means that the emergency part of it is over. So
I gotcha.
It's going to be a minute before she's back on her feet. Of course, submarines are really slow, so it may take more than 2 days just for you guys to go from point A to point B. So that's the other thing to keep into consideration. Also, you are effectively the ship's doctor. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, I realized that.
You got this, buddy.
So Jill's going to be like, so just to be clear, we have an understanding that I'll make the strategic calls and you guys will make the tactical calls, and we'll work together until we've accomplished our mutual goals, and you guys can get back to the Defender and I can get back to my cell.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
That works.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then I think the first strategic move would be we need to see if it's safe to and formulate a plan to go recover this pilot. She takes a bite of her sandwich.
Definitely.
You have mayonnaise on that? I'm sorry, but you're just raw dogging that turkey and bread?
She's got a big old glob of mayonnaise like on her lip, and she's like, and she puts it on her finger and holds out. What? She's like, what? You want to lick that off?
No, my eyes get really big, but I step back. No, I don't.
You're not a real cat. You're not a real cat. You couldn't deal with that.
Oh my god, I almost did it. I stand outside with my hands across my face. Oh,
You're just shaking like, ah!
I'm gonna go scratch something.
Well, that was weird, Jill says. She's like, I'm glad we were able to sort that out. I think you have more combat experience than my crew, so for tactical situations, we're going to defer to your expertise. And you guys can figure out amongst yourselves how that chain of command should work.
Yep, definitely.
You got it, Sarge.
She's like, I'm gonna walk off and pet the kitty. She follows Hylar. She's like walking down the hallway, have a sandwich. Hey, come back!
Sandwich does really smell good. You said turkey sandwich, and then I was like, I gotta have a turkey sandwich.
So that 3 of you are left in the mess hall. Hylar, as you walk onto the bridge, you will immediately notice the fatigue. So this Crystal, Carl, and Jasper have been at these posts now in heavy combat, tense situations for about 12 to 16 hours total. Like from the time you guys left the docks. And they were in a firefight for an unknown number of hours before that. Jill is a little bit more rested because she got knocked the fuck out. So she had some, unwilling rest time. But everyone else, that'll be your immediate notice, is all the fatigue of these guys as you come up on the bridge.
As the ship's medical expert, oh god, this sounds awful. You guys all look like shit. I'm gonna relieve Crystal here, and I think that you guys should go to the galley and go pick somebody to take over your shifts. You guys go get some sleep.
Jill's like, I'll take Jasper's spot. That's a great idea. And Jasper and Crystal, they put up no argument. They need food. They make it back down to the galley, and Jasper and Crystal walks in, and they're like, "Hey, Carl's still up on the bridge. If one of you wants to take the helm, we need to switch shifts and get some rack time."
Okay.
All right, I'll go help.
Carl, I'm gonna take over for you unless you want to stay there, but I doubt that.
Are you sure you got it, Marcus? The helm is, You know what? You seem to know what you're doing. I'm gonna go get a sandwich. Thanks, man.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Right?
It's just like driving a car. Oh,
Right.
wait, I don't do that very
I
well
mean,
either.
you sit down at the helm, Marcus, and it's literally on autopilot right now. It's literally just set to maintain course and speed.
I'm gonna grab the steering column and act like I'm actually doing something. And not tell anybody it's on auto.
So the sensors and engineering station, Hylar has also had a little bit of experience with the engineering stuff. So he'll notice some of the similar controls from when he was doing earlier. And one of the first things he'll notice is you shouldn't touch any of these things that say ballast. Shouldn't touch any of those.
Yeah, I'd keep my paws away from that thing. And I look for the same kind of book that I saw before in the engineering bay.
There is one hanging from the side of the console that explains how the sensors and engineering station works.
Yeah, I'm going to start leafing through that.
Oh, that's a very good idea. Bralix, you are in the mess hall. Are you staying in there, or are you heading up?
Brelix sees everybody coming and really tired, and he goes, I'm going to do something nice for them, and whatever they ask him, like he's trying to have them sit down and relax and give them food for a little bit, and then he's going to run out once they're settled.
Okay, turkey sandwiches all around.
That's what everybody likes, right? Turkey sandwiches.
Yep.
Excellent. A little bit of mayonnaise for you, a lot of it for you. You guys, you did really good, and thanks for putting up with me. I'm glad we're still alive. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I feel like there was just an awkward. They're holding their sandwich. They're like halfway through a bite, and they don't know what to say, and you're just like, okay, bye.
As soon as they all take a bite, so that it would be like the most worst way to start a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you guys are once again amongst yourselves. I mean, Jill's here, but you're amongst yourselves on the bridge. One of the things you guys are going to notice pretty quickly is it's a civilian vessel designed to run on what is in essence a skeleton crew. Like this ship's designed to run with 5 people. You got way more than that. And almost everything here is automated. Like now that the course is locked in, the boat literally drives itself.
Where's
Totally
course?
don't want to know that.
Right. Where's course right now?
It is not set to a specific place. What Carl did was he set it away from the baddies, and the last command he was given was to go to full speed. Which he's actually set it to cruising speed, which is basically its maximum speed it can move at without hurting itself.
That's a good idea.
All right. So just observations of the engineering panel are all systems in like working condition. I know that we took some damage, pipes were going, and we were leaking last time, so I want to look over that. How does that look?
So there are some spots. So there's a few things that are in the yellow. Nothing's in the red. You're getting some warning on the cooling intakes for the engines, and you're getting some warnings where some hull cracks. It's nothing serious. There's no breach of the pressure hull or anything like that. Everything is just you just see warnings from where you did take some near misses. One of the things you will note is that your fuel reserves are at about 50%. Now you have a massive amount of fuel for the submarine. It's designed to be out for months at a time. But it wasn't fully refueled, and this is kind of the first time you had time to sit down and flip through screens like that to see the reserves. With all that said, you probably still have more than a month worth of fuel in the tank, like at cruise speed. You'll probably run out of... Well, no, it recycles water, it recycles air, and you have a closet full of dry goods for food. So you could be out here a long time without resupply or refuel.
Fuel is the limiting factor in how long we're going to be out.
Yeah, unless you find a place to refuel, yes.
But that's pretty pricey too.
It runs on liquid hydrogen, and I'll let you suss the rest of that out yourself. The chief engineer whose station this was a bit of a kook, so you will also find all sorts of notes. Actually, I want to give you some. I want to say that since you are looking around, and I want to make sure that I drop a good enough hint about this, you find a data wafer that was just sitting there, and you pop it into your tablet. And it is a napkin sketch schematic for improvising out of spare parts that might be available a chemical grenade that it's based on these things called ballast poppers. You also find that there's something on the ship called a ballast popper that could have been used in an emergency to forcefully drain a ballast tank. They're called emergency ballast venting packets.
Okay. When you say kook, is this guy like the programmer from Jurassic Park kind of kook? Or is he more like the guy that helps in Mission Impossible.
So imagine if Q from James Bond and MacGyver had a love child.
Oh, excellent. I love this guy. All right, I'm definitely checking these notes out. I'm going to figure this whole thing. Marcus, quick question. The engines are slightly overheating. There should be a way to open up a coolant, maybe take on some water, run it over the hot parts. Is that a thing? You play the game, man. I don't know if it's a mechanic in the game or if it's a thing with the submarine.
You guys can leaf through the manual and do an investigate check if you want.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Stupid mute, double muting.
There we go. He's back.
Like talking, and then you're like, you're not talking. I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. Yes, we should be able to like have some that like engines usually have something to cool them with, whether it's liquid or like pumping water from outside through piping, or we could just slow down so the engines aren't working as much.
Okay. I got 10.
All right.
Investigate.
Way better than your rolls we're doing last time.
Yeah, those were awful.
So you're looking at the manual and comparing the screens that you're looking at to the manual, and the valves that are supposed to inlet for the cooling are all the way open. But the flow of water coming in is nowhere near what it should be.
Oh, we got a blocked intake, man. That's what it looks like here. I mean, I might be wrong.
It's also not a dangerous level of overheating. Like, water's still getting through.
All right. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we could keep an eye on that and like figure out if there's anything else going on. Do I have one of those cool books, man?
Yep, there's one at every station. And you can use an investigate roll. The only time using the investigate roll to leaf through the book is a problem is if we're in combat time, because it takes more than 6 seconds to leaf through a manual.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking through my book on driving the ship to see if the ship has any designed cool tricks in it that it can do that we wouldn't normally know about, like emergency diving and what all the buttons that are sitting in front of me do.
Okay.
Relics will go to walk behind Jill and say, so you said that the captain had personal notes somewhere. Did you have a personal relationship with her? Like, do you know, give me a clue as to where you think I should start looking to try to figure out where her notes would be in her room, right? Maybe.
Jill swivels around in her chair and gives a almost maternal smile. And it's like, I'm sensing that you are not completely comfortable with our current situation, Brelix.
No, I'm just. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to go from the tactical in chargeness. You're 100%. You're a cell leader of everything, and you told me to do a thing, and I'm trying to make sure that I can help you do that in some way.
Or let's go look at a map.
Okay.
I got him.
Jill's like, it's all right, Brelix. So to answer your questions, as I remember, you asked a lot right there. Yes, Captain Anja is part of my cell group, and this submarine generally does a combination of resupply missions to other cells and intelligence gathering out on the ocean. She did have a list of priority resupplies that she was responsible for. And that data is either going to be on her terminal or on her person or written down on a note somewhere. We tried to keep certain information segregated so that you would need a piece of written data, as in physically written down, to pair with any digital data because, well, the Unity are expert hackers, so we don't trust our information systems. So that is the thing. As far as where you would find it beyond that, I don't know. I do suggest that you have a look at the map and we decide where to go and what to do here. Obviously, we are temporarily safe, so we have time to think and strategize and try to decide what to do.
Yep. Look at the map and plot. Of course, see if we can get down to pilot. And as we're traveling there, we'll see if we can find some clues as to her priority supplies. That works.
Yes, I suggest you go look at the map. You are probably going to have to decipher it. It is not going to be. I don't think, Jill says it's going to be a simple matter of I blew up a lot of course. I think you're going to have to go decipher what means what. And, like I said, I have made the strategic call. We should go rescue that down pilot. How you choose to implement it, or if you think the risk isn't worth it and you want to present that, then go forth and do that. I would like you to come back to me once you've come up with a plan so we can talk about it. Is that okay?
Yep, definitely. I can do that.
Okay. She swivels back in her chair and she's like, yeah, so when you have a plan, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Then Relics goes to look at it's just the big pirate map here.
So it's pretty much exactly what you see here. And what you don't see here is just as important as what you see here, because what you don't see here is any way of actually plotting coordinates on this map.
Relics looks at the he's there's no north, no south, which oh my goodness, just throws a wop off. Like, why wouldn't you ever put a you need the cardinal directions, or well, that's a bad map. But then he also's in his head, he's thinking hard because this exists to be a cipher, be part of a cipher, because that's what you have to do in a war against people with intelligence. And he thinks about it through, and then he goes, maybe there is a cipher and I need to find an extra part to it, because that's kind of what she said, but that should be on her terminal. Can I get into her terminal? And he takes another deep breath and he kind of looks around, he looks at the map again, and he goes, well, these are great things.
So let's metagame a question real quick. I put this downed pilot thing on here. It would not actually be on the map yet. Because Braylix would be the one to add it. Braylix has actual coordinates for the downed pilot. So that is a thing that's slightly different, because the downed pilot coordinates came from Churchill, which you have not yet tried to talk to Churchill. So that's a thing that you also have the capability of doing from time to time. But I just want to point out metagame-wise that once you figure out how to decipher the map, that the reason that handwriting was different, that's the thing that was different that I thought people might miss. That's because Braylix would have written it on this map. And I was worried that you'd go down the wrong path because I put that on the map, but in reality, you wouldn't have that yet.
Okay.
Does my console have any navigation information on it?
It absolutely does. It very much does. Question: where is Braylix while he's looking at this map?
If nobody's in the captain's chair, that's where he was sitting, and he's got a console there.
Okay. So you could probably talk to Marcus, who's at the navigation console, if you wanted.
Marcus, you have coordinates for where we are, right? Or probably guessed coordinates from the last time they had an update from GPS?
Yes, I believe I do.
Mm-hmm.
I got it right here. Point at the thing on the console. And I also know what direction we're going. I make the assumption that there's some sort of gyroscope on there that's...
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a... on planes, it's called INS. But there's a inertial navigation system that when you pop up and it syncs with GPS, you get an exact location, and then it kind of keeps track of how far you moved and in what direction you're submerged.
Yeah, if you got a map for me, bro, it's like I got coordinates and speed and direction. We can kind of put together where we're at and where we're going.
Metagame, I have the coordinates of this, so I can just say, here are the coordinates of the downed pilot.
You could, but that's not a plan, nor does it help you decipher this. So
Yep.
that is a thing. You could skip this part of it if you really wanted to, but that may not be the smartest idea, as of right now you are not being shot at.
Yep. I have a lot of thoughts. I say, here are the coordinates of the downed pilot, but we need to decipher this map. Do you we just have a map? Do we have can I try to put the outlined islands on a different map and try to see things through that lens?
Kizik, I'm a little worried at how quickly you came to that conclusion. Go ahead and roll an navigation or investigate, whichever is better. Off of your intellect, please.
Navigate.
Oh my god, boxcars. So I want to say it works exactly as you just said. That was the solution that I thought you might never get to. But you did it first thing. You're holding up the map, and Marcus is trying to show you that this is where you're at thing, and you hold up the map, and then you look down the map, you hold up the map, and you realize that the navigation screen outlines perfectly on the islands. You walk up to the navigation console, and you press this paper down against the screen. The lines on the map glow through the paper, and you realize it's like tracing paper. So by adjusting the zoom and position of the navigation console, you can fit it exactly to this map, which then, even though things like Drake's supply post and the shipwreck and all the other things aren't on the navigation screen, you now know where they are by simply setting this piece of paper that also, by the way, fits perfectly on the navigation screen. Like, it slots in like it's made to be there.
And see.
And then Brelix writes in downed pilot in the middle part, exactly where it should go.
Huh?
How do we know that one? Alex,
like I said before, when we were topside and we were worried about things and all that stuff was happening, I got an intel dump. It happened really quickly, and that's one of the things that I pulled from that. And then we went underwater and...
you got an intel dump from where? You weren't sitting in any of these consoles.
I mean...
Patching up the submarine.
I was jumping between those two consoles, and then I ran to the back, and as I was running back, I got the intel dump from you guys get the dumps from Churchill sometimes, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Are you okay?
100% am okay.
Things talking in your head and giving you a bunch of information.
Not all the time. Not right now.
I mean, have you tried?
No, we're underwater, and I don't want to potentially give away our location. That sounds like a weird thing. The next time we go up to the surface, I'll see if I can check in.
Okay, that's really weird to me.
It's one of those sergeant things, I guess, Tyler.
I'm glad I'm not sergeant then.
Fact.
It's Churchill has a lot to say sometimes.
Okay, buddy. You're the boss. Hey, Hylar, random question at the engineering. Do you have anything out there that says outside water temperature?
Let me check for a thermostat.
You
There
will-
are a couple different thermostats here. Is there one that says OT?
There would be temperatures for outside, for the intakes, for the water coming out of the cooling system. There's like 15 different temperature gauges for various different things. One of them is the outside temperature.
I read them all off.
Well, you figure out the plan for us, boss.
I mean, at
Is
this
the water
depth, it's at this depth. You are in tropical waters, but at this depth, it doesn't matter. The water's going to be cold. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be dangerous.
Okay, so we're not in any concern of our downed pilot freezing to death in the water if we don't hurry up our butts to get there.
Oh no, he's on the surface, and you assume because you don't actually know anything but a transponder, the bailout position. That's all you know. But assuming that he deployed his life raft, or even is floating in a life preserver, he's in tropical waters.
Okay.
That's the thing. But if those two things aren't the situation, then it wouldn't matter how quickly you got there from here. It would be too long. Like, nobody could swim the amount of time even up to this point it is taken.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm?
All right, boss. So what's the plan?
So I swivel over and I say, Garrett, how you've been quiet over there for a little bit. How would you go save a downed pilot on the surface of a water with a submarine?
Well, we have our submarine. We have our deep dive suits. We also have wetsuits. We could always surface to actually go to where his transponder's at. However, I didn't really hear a how long it was for us to get to him, actually.
Someone would have to plot that on the navigation chart. It's a good call.
Sitting at the navigation console app. Hey, guys, I don't navigate very well. I just go towards the dot.
I could do it.
Yeah, look over here.
I lean across the consoles and try to put latitudes and longitudes together. And here we go.
Also, while you're doing that, is there anything that we know about the surrounding area where the transponder's at? I mean, friendlies, unfriendly, anything at all?
Yeah, we should check that out too. I have a +1 navigate. So this roll is a 9.
Okay. You plot a course. You're pretty sure that it's actually only a slight deviation from your current course if you were to go straight there. Since you rolled a 9, you realize that it will actually, like, it would only take you an hour as the crow flies. But there's an island in the way. This island, actually, that's on the map, is in the way. So you'll have to go around that because you're coming from Anchor's End. And that's going to make it like an hour and 45 to 2 hours for you to get there.
Is there anything on our navigational charts about this particular island? Anything that we need to be aware of its shoreline? Anything like that, I guess?
All the topography of the island is going to be on there. The navigation charts are very specifically sparse of anything that isn't navigation data, meaning where the ocean floor is, where the shelf is, any particular tidal things you need to know. It will tell you nothing about what's on the island, who's on the island. Any of the tactical questions you guys were asking earlier will not be in the navigation system.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess I was initially kind of just wondering about what's, the surrounding area. Again, like all the stuff underwater, I guess.
Yep.
A safe course to travel type thing.
Yeah, I guess I should have written on this thing also not to scale, because this is a huge area of water. So you're already pretty much right on top of this island. By the fact that it's going to take you an hour to go, 2 hours to go around it. Like, if there were portholes, you'd be able to see the island.
Well, if our desire is to actually go help the downed pilot or go to his transponder location of his last ping or whatever, then yeah, I think what you did is just chart a path that direction, and we'll start prepping up our gear for a rescue.
Oh, I screwed something up. Sorry, I got to retcon something because I read my notes wrong. It is 2 hours to go around the island. It's another 3 hours to get once you're around the island to get to him. It's 5 hours total.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, that's different.
I didn't read my entire thing. My bad.
Yeah. So your plan is to just surface, invite them on board the top thing, and then go underwater again.
Well, I mean, is our plan to go there? I mean, he is 5 hours away. Is that the deviation that we want to take the crew of the ship?
Yes.
What the boss lady told us we're doing.
Copy that. Then yes, I would think so. I mean, we'll just get there. We'll do a search, right? We can do some checks underneath the point and surface and check the other point, or we don't need to surface. I guess we could just get out in some of our gear and go that direction. But based on the information we have, we don't know. I mean, he's been down for a while, right? So we don't know his condition or whether we'll be successful in finding him. But to go search, yes.
We have like super microphones on this thing, right? We can listen out. Once we get near him, we can, hear and see. Not see, but figure out what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. We should be able to see, quoting fingers, see something, right?
Hey, do you have any, like, in your little sensor book thing, do we have any visual sensors? Like, in my totally educational simulator, they usually have like a pipe with some mirrors on it so they can see up to the surface.
A periscope?
Yeah, that thing. Do we have any of those?
Let me look through the book. It'd be... that was almost Snake Eyes. It's an 8, investigate.
Yes, there are periscopes, plural, on the boat. They are digital, so they can be routed to pretty much any monitor on the bridge. And they can be controlled from a number of different places as well.
I know this might be a taboo question, but I will ask it to the party. Is there any desire for us to see if we can receive any type of signal that he may be generating, like a Mayday or anything like that?
I think we should.
I mean, I
I
know
also
we have
think-
the transponder point, but I mean, we want to see if he's actively transmitting anything too.
If he is, he's a target, and if we go up to the surface, we're going to be targets too. So we have to be very aware.
Yep, copy that.
So we're going to plot the course. We're going to get as close as we can directly underneath of him, and then start scanning the surface with our acoustics, and then get a little bit higher up and search for him with our periscopes.
Yeah, not within range that the acoustics kill him. That's a thing, right?
You'd have to probably overload them.
We're just listening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just go for a listen. I mean, like I said, if he's in danger or something like that, he might be. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was in danger. I'd be looking for any and every reason to get help.
Yeah, he might be getting eaten by sharks.
Ooh.
Yeah, just listening. Shouldn't have any problem with just listening. Now, if we try to make sound with that sonar thing, yeah, that will hurt him. He's in the water. If he's not in the water, it's not going to do anything to him.
Gotcha. All right, I'll plot a course around this island, and then get us plotted to come around and then head in the right direction.
I will follow the course that you plot.
I'll swivel over and say, Jill, did you hear that plan? Is that an acceptable thing?
If you think the risk is acceptable and that plan's going to bring him down here, it sounds very good to me. I appreciate that you are putting so much thought into it.
She says, plot the course, guys.
Awesome. While we're going, how are we going to get him out of the water?
I do have one suggestion, Mr. Braylix. Jills holds up a finger. You gentlemen haven't slept either. So, after a few hours, or a couple of hours of the other crew getting rest, perhaps you should take some time to get some sleep before we get to the pilot?
Yep, definitely. We have to be ready for combat and everything.
That's a good point there, Brelix. So we should know who's doing what job while we get this guy out of the water, so that they can prepare for it.
You and Hylar are the close combat guys. Garrett is the long combat guy. Who's Hylar does not like to swim. We need to find him. We need Garrett on the guns. I guess that puts him at the upper deck section, so he can like open the door and snipe as we're driving closer to him if there's combat.
I would say we probably need to go check our diving gear, like our suits. We have dive suits along with the deep diving suits as well. Just make sure their condition is in good working order and that they're prepped. And
See if there's a boat. Maybe there's a little dinghy or something.
yeah, I mean, there might be some stuff on this boat, and I have no idea how we go about getting him into the boat with us being underwater. I don't know that much about these boats at all.
Can I hold on? I just had a thought. Is there's no mention of these islands on the navigational computer, but the islands are drawn on the map, right?
Incorrect. The islands are the only thing that are on the map that are on the navigation computer. That's the key. You lay the map down, the lines on the screen shine through the trace paper, and you adjust the zoom so that the island edges line up with their navigational equivalents on the screen, and that's how you know where everything is.
Gotcha.
Now, the things that are drawn on the piece of paper on the islands are not going to be on the navigational charts. So all this writing, this shipwreck isn't there, this supply thing isn't there, like all the little annotations, all the little drawings, none of that there. It's just the shape of these islands. And that's because this map by itself, if it were to fall into enemy hands without that chart, navigational chart, you wouldn't necessarily know where this is by just having this piece of paper. It doesn't have coordinates on it. Like Kizik pointed out earlier, it doesn't even tell you which way is north.
Reckon. All right, we plot the course. We got to rest. Maybe, man, I feel bad if that guy's just treading water, but he'd be dead by now. He's probably in a boat or something. Garrett, you're going to go check the cargo bay?
Yes, I'll go head down, check the cargo bay, check our suits, check and see what inventory we have and things that we could utilize to help rescue him.
Sounds good.
Okay. You get down to the cargo bay. There's a ton of shit in here. Now, it's worth noting that there are the spare dive suits in here, the deep dive suits. And then there's the ones that are on the racks in the high pressure airlock, which is for underwater, like seafloor walking. Most of the conventional diving equipment is actually all the way up here in this floodable space in the lockers. So like your regular, what you would think of as like your Caribbean vacation scuba gear is up here. And not in the cargo bay.
Gotcha. So, yeah, okay, I didn't know we had the extra ones up here at the top, but yeah, just checking to see our inventory. I think they're, Hylar had asked a question about a dinghy or something like that we could utilize. I didn't know if there was anything like that down here. I figured I'd do some searching.
There might be an emergency raft at some point here. There will not be a dinghy as you think of it. If anything, there'll be some sort of emergency life raft, which there almost certainly will be one somewhere. But it is not something that you would inflate, deflate. It's a one-time use. You pull the cord and there's a bright orange tube you can survive in, which is almost certainly what this guy is already in.
Yep.
Now, if you wanted to make something else, there are a ton of materials down here.
Oh, hey, Hylar, look what I found. I found a cat tree.
I'm not down there with you right now, but very interesting, and I gotta check that out.
That might help, alleviate some of your cat stress. Now, with this ship, if we were to actually surface, what are our ways out?
All of the ways that you currently know of. So the ways that'll be above the water are the top side porthole here and the two cargo bays. Although the cargo bays are hard to get to because they're basically the roof hatch is open and there's a crane for lifting cargo out. Technically, a person could ride on the crane. It's not safe, but you could do it.
Now, is up here at this top right here, isn't this like a glass ceiling or something like that?
No, it's the only part of the sub that has portholes in it.
Gotcha, okay.
So it does have little tiny windows that are like the size of dinner plates.
Okay. Okay, so guys, looks like we've got several different types of diving suits down here. We've got the deep dive for ground, for basically walking on the bottom of the ocean. We've got some regular deep dive suits for swimming around, and then we've got our scuba gear that is actually is located in the top of the submarine. All we had was an emergency raft. There's nothing like a dinghy that we were looking for around here, Marcus. Sorry about that. But we do have that emergency raft here somewhere, I'm sure.
Could just surface and throw a rope over and have him climb up. If he's not injured. If he's injured, the doctor's gotta go get him. In the water.
I don't like that.
Yep, got to swim in the water, go across, and get him. I think what we need to do is definitely identify to make sure we can actually find the guy, that he actually exists. Or, sorry, this person exists. Because if they're not alive already, then there's no sense on really trying to save somebody who's not alive. But, yeah.
I don't think we're gonna figure that out till we get there.
Yeah,
Copy
no,
that.
I don't think so either.
So we should get a couple of hours of rest while we're headed that way. Once we get there, once we surface, Marcus, did you play with the big gun last time? I don't know if I remember that or not.
I did indeed with Jasper.
So you and Jasper should be our big defense when we surface and are ready to go save a person. Hylar and Garrett are you're there to try to catch the guy. I could be out there too. I also just remembered we've got those underwater drone things. I don't know if those are big enough to like try to pull a boat or a rope. Oh, they could probably pull a rope, right?
Oh, you mean the probes?
Yeah. If we do it right, we can maybe sneak up and then throw a probe out and then use the probe to search, and we're still under the water and less exposed. But also, that's kind of what sonar does too, so maybe that's not as big of a thing as I thought.
Well, if it's a flying probe or something like that, then yeah, I could probably definitely give us some type of, a video feed on anything that we can see there, which would definitely be safer and smaller than us surfacing.
So put us on radar.
The little drone or the probe?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Potentially. It'll be a fly thing.
Let's maybe get some rest ourselves, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna head to the cargo bay where I heard there was a massive cat tree.
So who's taking which watches, and are we doing?
Swapping with the other team.
Hylar, you get down to the cargo bay, and there is indeed a box labeled cat trees. You open it up, and there's a bunch of normal-sized house cat trees in there. And you pick one up, like, that's not going to do me a lot of good, but it is a very pleasing feel to your claws. You realize it's super fucking heavy. And it's also made out of cardboard.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
You break it in half.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making biscuits, but real hard.
You don't have to make them real hard. You make biscuits, you slide your claw all the way through it like a hot knife through butter. It falls apart, and inside you see what can only be described. It looks like white Play-Doh, and it's all over your claw. And all of these tubes are filled with it.
Contraband? Is it drugs?
Do you lick your claw?
No. Could also be explosives. Shit, I'm gonna need Marcus. Both my hands are covered in this stuff.
Your claws have some on it, yeah.
Hey, Garrett, come here. Hey, what's
Hey,
it
what
smell
you-
like?
Yeah, what you got that? Oh my gosh. I smell it. I don't want to touch it. I'll take a sniff of it, but not too close.
Yep. Just smell my claw.
I don't actually have the expo. Hold on, let me Google something. I shouldn't bother with this detail, but now I'm curious. I'm sure this won't get me flagged.
Oh no.
Okay, so it smells like motor oil and grease.
Oh. So what's it smell like, Garrett?
Like a motor oil and a grease. I would wipe it off. I don't know what that is. That's pretty nasty. Where'd you get that from?
It's over here, hidden in these cat trees. I think all of them
Serious?
have it in there. Yeah, they're super heavy.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's a packing label in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, investigate it.
Okay. The packing label says it's a regular shipping label for a courier service that is like the UPS of Edenfall. And it says 2 Ironwoods Cat Sanctuary. And it has an Aslan Enclave address.
Cat Sanctuary.
Yep. And you know, as an Aslan, that's not something they normally say. It would probably not catch the attention of a non-Aslan. But no Aslan is going to call their place or organization a cat sanctuary. And they're certainly not going to ship normal-sized cat toys.
Yeah, none of this is adding up. Would you mind if I roll a survival to see if this is plastic explosives or equivalent?
Yeah, you go ahead and roll. You can roll survival or explosives. If you roll survival, I will tell you a couple things that it's not. If you roll explosives, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Alright, I'll take the -3 and roll an explosives check. Maybe I should go get Marcus before these dice hit the table. Ah, it's too late.
Oh,
not bad, not bad.
taking back that karma.
8.
It's C4.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what'd you find out, Marcus?
Marcus?
Marcus is finding
sorry,
out. that-
not Marcus.
Right.
Hylar.
I found out that I should also be looking for blasting caps. Or some sort of det cord to spark this stuff off, because this is explosives.
Okay, give me a recon check. Or I'll take an investigate. Either one.
All right. The recon's actually better. I have an 11.
The twine wrapped around the scratching post is det cord, and the springs for the little fuzzballs on top of the cat trees all have blasting caps in them.
Holy moly.
And there's remote radios for detonating the blast caps hidden in the base. You basically you're taking all these components out, stacking explosives right next to Garrett at this point.
Man. Okay. Garrett, all of this stuff, we're going to have to figure out what to tell Marcus about. Because, this is extremely dangerous stuff. It's a little bit over my head with explosives.
Yeah, I would call him down here now. I want nothing to do with this. And is it bad to have it all in the same pile together here on the floor? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. This is real bad. It's all armed and ready to go, kind of.
So
We're
Garrett
gonna
starts
get-
backing up slowly towards the wall.
Well, I'm taking it apart right here. It's most of it's kind of inert. You really need a lot of electricity to spark it off, or some sort of shock. But we got hit with a torpedo. This thing would just go poof. Anyway, I'm gonna
Marcus,
inventory everything while you get
Marcus.
Marcus.
We may need you down here.
Why? I'm sleeping.
Found stuff that go boom in storage area, cargo area.
All right. I think I'll come down there, but we should be sleeping. And I will make my way down there.
Hey, look how much det cord and C4 is here. Look at this.
Holy shit! I mean, wow. What are you doing?
I found it because I was kind of checking out these cat trees Garrett found. They are, not cat trees.
Really?
I think some Aslans were sending it to Aslans? I'm not sure. Is there a resistance cell of Aslans?
I'm a resistance minion. I do what I'm told. I don't know what the cells are or what they do.
Like a care package for somebody to escape prison.
I mean, this is blow up a prison. At least 3 of the walls.
So I'm down. I like it. But we do need sleep. And what are we going to do with this?
Well, I mean, you're the explosive expert. How should
definitely.
this be stored?
Probably how you found it.
Really? Just piled all up in here?
I mean, as long as the stuff isn't actually connected.
Yeah, Hylar's got some of it on his like fur and his claws and stuff too. I mean, I don't know, is that good or bad or?
That depends on whether or not we ignite Pylar.
I mean, don't do that, please. But, just like Play-Doh, I'll get it off.
Yeah, Hylar, do not rub up against anything. No static charges, nothing like that with your fur, okay?
I'm gonna help decontaminate Hylar there. But seriously, guys, we should probably get some sleep after we put this stuff away. We can let everybody know that we got some pretty volatile stuff down here, but I don't know that there's a lot we can do with it right now. We can.
Well, I'm good for nap time, so you guys finish playing with that. I'm kind of groggy here. Hey, I don't suppose I have any more of those pain pills before I go to bed.
Ghost,
Do I have any?
Give me a medicine check first. You do have a shit ton of you basically filled your pockets with pain meds, and there's still more in the infirmary.
It's an 11 total.
Okay. So the problem is now becoming you're giving him pretty severe pain meds, and you've given him a lot of really severe pain meds. He's gonna have to come down off it at some point, and you need to decide when you want that to be.
Hey, come on, man. Just you have the pills, don't you?
Yeah, actually, I want you to take this sedative. It'll help you sleep. And if you wake up, come and see me.
Did you just say if I wake up or?
Yeah, I mean, when you wake up, come and see me.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay. All right. Okay.
Hold
all
on,
right.
it's kind of like a fast actor, so let's get to where we want to sleep, and then I'll hit you with it.
All right. Gotcha.
Because the place is overcrowded, you guys are hot bunking basically. But the other crew has taken their nap and they've come back to the bridge. And actually, as they come back to the bridge, Jill walks over to Braylix and she's like, "Mr. Braylix, you're going to need some sleep too."
Yes, ma'am.
Does he just like run for the door when she says that?
Yes. He does want to go lay down.
Yeah, it's a strange little bop. She says she sits down.
I'm gonna go over here and grab me a set of self-cleaning bed sheets. So I'm not racking.
All right, good job. No scurvy for you.
And I'm gonna go make my rack and go to bed.
They are the nicest bed sheets you've ever seen or heard of. They are intensely comfortable. They like soothe and massage you, and they heat and cool to the perfect temperatures. They're amazing.
Totally bringing these home with me.
And you did notice when you're getting the bed sheets out that they also have PJs in this material.
It's great. I may only get 2 hours of sleep, but it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a good 2 hours of sleep. What's everyone else doing?
A little bit jealous that I did not go down to the things with them and was not aware. But I'm going to look at him as he's making his bed and then just jump into one. And as I lay down, I'm going to reach out to Churchill.
How's it going, bud?
I have to think this, so I'm trying real hard to think. Sorry.
If it's easier for you, you can just mouth the words and not speak them, and I'll be able to tell that that's what you're doing.
I'll figure this out. This is a very efficient way of speaking, and I'd like to master it at some point. The Jill lady is taking over command-ish of the... Or no, she did take command. We're going to go rescue the downed pilot. But I also thought maybe I should check in with you because you might outrank her. And do you have any commands you want us to do?
I don't outrank anyone, but I can ask Griggs if there's any other things he wants. I suspect you've done the right thing, but I can check on that. It wasn't anticipated that you would take the submarines. This is already off the rails. Would you like me to check with Griggs or Skinnerd to confirm your orders?
Yeah, that'd be great. After the pilot, we're gonna try to do a mission for the captain of the ship, and then then we'll get them back to their rendezvous point, unless otherwise told, dictated to, commanded.
Okay. The commander has said to go ahead and assist Jill Anchorage as much as possible. Getting her back to the rendezvous point at some point is still your objective. And then from the rendezvous point, you will need to return to drift to, rendezvous back with the Defender at some point. We will be on the outskirts of the star system for at least a few weeks. So you are not urgently needed to return. Commander Griggs did request to know the status of the very expensive suits that have obviously run out of power by now.
No, we had to emergency jettison them. They're in the cargo ship, and they're in as much as best a shape as we could.
Obviously, returning that equipment is a high priority.
Obviously, yes.
Sounds like you're doing fine. Any issues with the being a sergeant with secret orders thing, just between me and you? I heard your conversation with Tiberius.
I if that still takes precedence. If the ship gets taken over, I still need to proceed with secret orders.
Tiberius is kind of a hard case. He's not wrong about the practical matters, but yes, he's sort of... If the Unity is about to capture you or Jill, he kind of expects you to put one in her and then one in yourself. I think he's a bit callous, and him and Calico do not get along in any way, shape, or form. But he also has a practical point for his approach.
Relix is breathing and trying to go to sleep. He hears other people milling about, and he goes, I don't want to do it, but that's probably the right thing, right?
Only as a last resort. But if it becomes necessary, Griggs would understand why you did it. That's why he keeps Skinnerd around, is so that they can have someone who has that pragmatic feel. But don't feel like you need to do anything that's against your moral conscience.
Yeah, that's why we worked so hard to save them, so they didn't have to get bombarded orbitally. And with that, I have an hour to sleep, and then we're gonna go save a downed pilot.
Oh, well then you should sleep. And instantly Brelix falls asleep. It is immediate REM sleep. What does Braylix dream about?
Have you ever played so much Candy Crush that you can like see different cells moving so that you could see like 8 moves ahead and like get that super big combo?
No. Never played a round of Candy Crush in my life.
Oh man, just the like moving a thing to then watch 5 other things fall. He sees that with spreadsheets. He sees that with like logistics of how to get ammo to different spots, and he is just super pleased with how the like 8-time combo keeps popping up.
What does Marcus dream about?
How amazing these bed sheets and his pajamas are. It's like pure comfort sleeping on a cloud. Like he's counting himself as he jumps from cloud to cloud. It's like counting sheep, but it's counting Marcus's.
Hylar.
He has a nightmare that Calico keeps shoving him in tight metal tubes. And he's screaming, no, 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 but Calico's huge, like kaiju size, and keeps shoving him into smaller and smaller tubes. And he doesn't like it at all. And then he wakes up and he's still in a fucking tube.
I feel like he gets wrapped all up in his sheets, so he's like tightly packed.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
He's a kitty burrito. Okay, Garrett, what does Garrett dream about?
So he is actually dreaming about when he was actually outside of Drift, and he's out camping, hearing the nice cold wind move past him, and then all of a sudden he feels like he is on fire, and it's like all of a sudden he's like on some sun someplace. He's just catching on fire and he's just burning. He just like, oh my gosh, kicking the blankets off and everything like that, and it's just terrible.
Okay. So, despite the sedative, he's having very restless sleep. I will say when Garrett wakes up, and Garrett will get all the way through his night of sleep on those sedatives, or night, and it's not night of sleep, his nap is basically what it is. He is going to start feeling some pretty significant pain. It's not excruciating yet, but like the painkillers are wearing off, the pain blockers have worn off. That finger's really broken and swollen up. You've got a full body sunburn and rash, and you have a cut on your back that you can now feel that's basically been stitched back together by Hylar. You're pretty rough. You pain scale wise, you are up there. And cockle-doo-doo-doo, we wake up. You hear a ping over the main intercom, and Jill's voice says, we are 15 minutes out from the pilot location. All crews should get ready for operations.
Relix's eyes open and he stands up. You guys ready?
Oh man, is it hot in here? Why is my back hurt? What's going on? What is going on? Oh, my headache.
Garrett's bunk is drenched in sweat. It's gross.
Oh my gosh, this is what is going on? Doc, Hylar, what the?
Hylar squeals and then falls off the top bunk and hits the ground, all wrapped up in the sheets. I hate being in this thing. What? Okay, everything wore off. You feeling better?
I know this is terrible. This is I feel like that my back hurts. I can. Wow, my pinky finger actually is broken. I just looked at it for the longest time and I didn't believe that it was broken. But yep, that's busted. And I feel like I'm on fire. I am just so... Oh, I'm hurting everywhere.
All right. It's my medical opinion that you stay like this for a little while, and then I leave the room.
What the hell? Hey, come back here.
I go to the command center.
You arrive at the command center. It looks like Marcus and Brelix have beat you there.
He is going to say that he is hurting, but he has got to hurt for a little while to, normalize all the chemicals in his blood. So don't let him whine and complain, okay?
Metagame question for you. Would you say that I am kind of like in an amount of pain where I am willing to do almost anything to satisfy that pain?
Not yet, but that is the road you're on.
Okay, I won't get there then yet. Okay.
Hylar, can he still shoot? Is he good for like being our defensive guy?
Maybe ask him.
Hey, Hylar, what the heck? You seriously, you ran away from me? I thought you were gonna help me out. I'm in a lot of pain over here. This is hurting.
Yeah, it's sunburn, buddy. I know it's tough, but if I keep doping you up, it's gonna get harder and harder to break the habits.
You do know that sunburn for a cryomorph is different than sunburn for anybody else, right? This is awful.
I get it. Your nerve endings are completely fried over your epidermis. It's tough, but we got no ointment left on the ship, and all I really have got is these pain pills, but they're going to make you loopy. We can't have you loopy if you're going to be shooting people.
Hey, we got like a cold blanket or something like that I can wear, like, ice packs or something.
Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I pull out the card that shows me how to make these cryo popper things.
Oh my god. Where are these things at?
I have this. But there was some in the cargo bay, too.
Industrial Cryocoolant Gel Packs, TL10. Canisters of pressurized sub-zero gel used to prevent reactor overheating. It absorbs thermal energy instantly upon contact with air.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's right.
That sounds like the right thing.
You're a cryomorph, right? This is how things work.
Oh, holy hell.
You said you wanted it in a blanket. I was going to activate it, throw a blanket over top of it, get the blanket all cool, and then maybe hand it to you. But I don't know, man. This might just kill you outright.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
All right, I want to modify the engineer's original design. He's MacGyver Q. I am going to be the kid with all of his dad's tools that's going to re-engineer an already engineered thing. Because
Okay.
what I want to basically get out of this is an instant cooling tech, and I'm going to spread it out. Hopefully it's a liquid, and I'll spread it out between 2 layers of fabric to give him a cooling blanket.
Okay. The characteristic is going to be intellect. However, I'll let you use whatever relevant skill as long as you can explain it properly.
Oh, my intellect is 0. Okay, so
Hey, Hylar, before you put the reactor cooling stuff on to Garrett, are you just trying to make a blanket that cools him down?
yeah, that's where I was going with this.
Dude, those self-cleaning bed sheets that are hot and cold and regulate temperature, that I was just maybe we try those before we go into reactor cooling our buddy.
Also, 15 minutes until we have to maybe fight Unity soldiers.
More like 12 and a half.
Yeah,
right,
let's
I can-
try those blankets. Let's
I'll try
those.
the sheets, the synthetic linens.
Okay.
Although I do like the concept of reactor cooling our buddies. That's kind of funny.
You know what? Maybe I could wear a pair of those nice cooling pajamas underneath my other outfit. I don't know. Maybe that might help.
Potentially.
Okay. So you put on a pair of pajamas underneath your jumpsuit. Because remember, you're all wearing your undersuit from your armor still. So it's just a body sleeve that is already sort of temperature regulating. Now, O-Dubs is kind of cooked. So his isn't working properly, but putting these pajamas underneath will help a little bit to mitigate the heat coming off of him. I was totally going to give Ghost a MacGyver thing to like basically turn one of these PJs into a liquid cooling vest with reactor coolant. Like I was going to do it, but it was going to be the kind of thing that if it had been anybody but Thodubs, it would have killed them. But Thodubs is a cryomorph, so being like 31 degrees Fahrenheit is probably okay for him.
Dude, I was thinking the suit like Mr. Freeze has in Batman. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm picturing Garrett standing there with his pajamas underneath his body sleeve. You know, it's like you can see the pajamas coming out the sleeve ends. You know, and it definitely you can see that he's wearing something underneath his outfit.
Well, it's not really an outfit. Like I said, he's wearing a body sleeve. So you guys are, you can also quickly put him in PJs, so it's much faster than doing the whole thing. But that goes to Braylix's point, because I feel like Braylix is like, guys, it's school all, but we don't really have time unless we stop and wait, which you could also do. But Jill's going to say, all right, so I think we're within range to start looking for this guy. I'm going to give up this seat to Braylix so you guys can do your tactical thing. And she steps out of the captain's chair.
Braylix steps in. He looks over at Hylar. Or he looked over at Crystal, and then Hylar said, "Oh, I got this." Hylar wants to run sensors. He looks up at Carl and he says, "Carl, slow our speed down so that it has a negligible turbulence coming from the screw."
Okay. I've been reading the manual. That's under cavitation. Where is... Okay, so I need to set that to 0, and instantly the hum of the engine stops.
We're running stealth mode now. Hylar, passive pings of the surface. It should be close. Oh, maybe we could account for the flows of the ocean. Does anybody know some oceanography?
I'm gonna listen out.
Recommend we just listen
Yeah, I'm gonna listen.
and take a look at the visuals and see if we can see anything and check to see if his transponder's still going.
Is that a recon or you want sensors?
So it depends on how you want to do it. If you want to put on a pair of headphones and just listen to the microphone pickups, I'll let you do recon. If you want the computer to tell you what it hears through the same pickups, then you need to use sensors. And as far as the periscope goes, he hasn't actually said to deploy the periscope yet, but that would also be a recon check.
Alright. I rolled an 8. Let's say it's recon, just straight recon. So it's a 9.
Okay, so that's you with your earphones on?
Yes, just the headphones.
Okay. Just listening through headphones, there's definitely something splashing up near the surface. There's also an abundance of sea life in the area. With a 9, there, I'm not going to give it too much, but you can deduce that there's no boats moving nearby, and there's no effects that sound like a mechanical mechanism other than the boat that you're on.
I relay this information to everybody.
Okay. Taking into account where the things are coming from, Carl, bring us to periscope depth.
Alrighty, let me see here. This is the make your depth screen, and I just slide this up and press engage autopilot. And we're moving again. I turned the engines on. So we're gonna be making a little noise.
We're also, I think that's probably okay. Jasper, you're on comms. Do you hear any maydays?
Right now the antenna's below the surface, but when we get up to periscope depth, I'll start listening out.
I'm now looking at my screen. Let me know when we're in periscope depth.
So very, very slowly, the boat creeps forward and up. And after 2 or 3 minutes of ascent, you get to periscope depth. Like just barely where like the tip of it can come over the top. And Jasper's listening out is like nothing so far. Who wants to run because any screen, because it's a digital periscope, can run the periscope. Who wants to run the periscope?
I'll do it.
Not Hylar. Hylar was excited.
Give me a recon check.
I was going to let him do it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hyler, were you going to do it, or?
No, you go ahead. It's fine.
Tyler's already on sonar.
Listening. Yeah, I was listening.
And boxcars.
Well, that was a good choice then, huh?
That was an excellent choice. What do you see with your eagle eyes?
What he sees as he scans the horizon is a orange life raft with a little tent bobbing up and down in the ocean.
Yeah, I think we found something here. I see the life raft kind of bobbing around over there. So yeah, it's got like a tent or something on it too. That's kind of neat. Like, but I think we've got something out there.
Is there anything else out there?
Birds, dolphins.
A lot of birds. I don't know. Yeah, dolphin. Hey, there's a dolphin. I see a dolphin.
That's a good sign. Carl set a course for the orange buoy.
You want me to just like run him over? Like what are we doing here?
No, pull alongside.
He turns all the way around in his chair and he's like, I don't think you understand. We're really big and I don't have that level of control.
Is there like a way we can I don't know, like mirror flash him or something like that to let him know we're here?
I feel like if we surface the ship, he'll know we're here.
That's true.
Do I see anybody else in the area that we want to keep an eye out for or stay away from?
With boxcars, it's safe to say that if there was something that you could see, I would have said so.
Copy that.
Then Carl, bring us to the surface.
Okay. So he taps a few buttons, and you come the rest of the way up to the surface, and kind of makes an interesting noise now that you know what to expect the boat to sound like. And your top deck comes all the way up above the surface. Garrett's watching through the periscope still, I'm assuming, which still functions when you're all the way up on the surface. It's much higher now in the air, so you get a much wider horizon view, panning around. The tent does shuffle, and a little face pops out because the submarine just surfaced like less than 100 yards away from this thing. With your longer view of the horizon, you spot a very interesting looking bird and zoom in on it and realize it's not a bird at all. It is a pair of jet aircraft, and they're not heading straight in this direction, but they are heading roughly in this direction.
Guys, I see a pair of jets actually kind of heading somewhat towards our direction. If we're going to do this, we may want to do it really fast.
That's the point. Jasper and Marcus on the big gun, Hylar and Garrett and me to the top side. Let's get as much rope and get this guy on board as quick as possible. Jill, the hull is yours.
Jill is like, I think that's his way of saying I have the con, but we're gonna go ahead and go with that. So you guys get up top. Jasper, tramps along with you guys. He slaps himself down in the chair and starts, him and Marcus start, I'm assuming, swiveling the cannon in a upward trajectory to try to shoot at aircraft, potentially. Is that what we're doing? That's what Jasper wants to do. Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing? As you guys come up and you pop the seal and get out here, you can see that there is a man in the life raft who has a little paddle, just a tiny little short paddle, and he is paddling like there is no fucking tomorrow, trying to get the life raft over towards the submarine.
Is there a rope and a life preserver?
Sure. You don't even need a luck roll for that. Okay, he's like 50 yards out. Give it your best athletics shot.
50 yards. All right. Like a shot put. Hilliard reaches back, does like a toss from the side. Okay. Athletics. Not so bad. With a strength, that's an 8.
Okay. It makes it right out near him, and he's able to grab it. And he kind of pulls it into life raft with him. He starts like pulling the rope in to make himself move faster, and he's zipping towards the sub now.
I'm gonna grab the other end of the rope. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the rope, and we're gonna start just all three of us pulling him in.
He's Speedy Gonzalez. He's heading in now. Everybody, give me a little bit of an athletics check. Is anyone else getting some serious tabletop simulator lag?
I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Me too.
11 with my athletics.
All right.
I assume, are we using strength? Is that kind of what we're doing, or just pure athletics?
Athletics, strength. That's what it is. Athletics is a category. I am going to reset the table. Give me a second.
Boss fails me. Theater remind it like the boss.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the dice.
Oh,
It's our dice rolls are all on Tabletop Simulator. That's my only concern. Like, lag does seriously affect that.
There's other dice rollers.
There are, but
We really have to do it.
if we really have to do that, then it's going to end the episode anyway, because like we're not gonna fix that in situ at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm the weird guy. I've got real dice sitting right in front of me.
I do have real dice, but I'm the GM.
I have a
dice.
problem, and I like dice too much, so
Mhm.
there's sure anywhere in my house there's dice lying around.
So we're in the conning tower, top.
Indeed.
Uh,
And you guys are pulling this guy in, and I think everybody made their rolls and passed.
no, Braddock's got a 3.
Yeah, I didn't pass.
Oh,
You got 7.
you didn't pass either. Okay. Well, let me do a roll. Speaking of real dice, it's an 8 and a 9. That's not ideal for you guys. Okay. You can now visually see with your naked eyes the contrails of the two jets overhead. And it takes you longer than you would like. Braylix is actually more of a hindrance than a help. And Garrett is like whinging in pain to the point where he's not really helping that much anyways. There's pretty much just Hylar and this pilot frantically pulling him in. But you do eventually get this guy up. Oh, this is going to be bad because now I have to open bags. Let's see if that helps. I'm gonna go with no, probably not. Well, I know one of the issues is that we're having a Unity crash in the background, and it's just not crashing the game. How that happens, I'm not sure, but that's definitely what's going on. Okay. Do I have the little pilot image in here that I used to have? This is something I used to be able to do really fast. We're all back, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay. So you pull this guy up on the boat. I don't have a token for him or anything else right now because I'm about to have to reboot my PC because Tabletop Simulator's like being that bad. I I am going to do that. I'm going to reboot. This should take no more than 5 minutes. I apologize.
Copy.
Anyway.
Roger, Roger.